Hey guys, Allison here, and before I start another layout for my Clear the Desk class at Schmel.com, I thought I would go through all the supplies I have left because I am running out of supplies basically. If you haven't seen the walkthrough of the quite large hashtag break all the rules kit that I put together, then do go back in this playlist and take a look. It was a lot larger than Schmel had suggested we put together, but I did that because I knew I had a lot of photos from one specific day that I wanted to scrapbook. That day was my eldest daughter's graduation from grade 7. They hold a special assembly at the school and the kids all get dressed up. And then my daughter got a big award, so it was a very special day for us, and I had a lot of photos, and putting a kit together like I did helps the story be cohesive for me, even though my designs are all very different. So that was my reasoning for putting together a big kit. But I am running out of full-size sheets of paper, and to be totally honest, I'm getting a little tired of scrapbooking with the same supplies. I'm getting sort of kit fatigue, I think. And I think I might have told all the stories I need to for that album, so I need to rethink what I can use these supplies for. So let's look at the supplies I have first. And I'm going to start at the bottom, which is with my full sheets. So I have these two. I thought I only had one sheet of paper left, like full 12 by 12, but I actually have two. I have this one from Amy Tangerine. It's green with it's probably navy, it looks a bit black, polka dot, which was never really one that I was going to use for this album because the colors are very different from all the rest of the colors in the album. I had been using some of these throughout, and I had cut the branding strip off to use on a different layout. So, but this is Amy Tangerine. I can't remember which collection it's from, sorry. So I have that one. And then I have this one. I had put in another sheet of this into my first kit so that I could use the circles as embellishments. This was one of Schmel's pointers, was to put in a paper that had motifs on it that we could cut apart. And so this one I felt was really easy for me to cut circles of to sprinkle around the layouts. And then I happened to have a second one in my kit. So I still have that one as a full sheet. This is a Pink Paisley Paige Evans #3. So this was, I think, Paige Evans' first collection. And I love it. I'm just not sure I would use it as a full background. So this is still something that I would be tempted to cut apart. And then I have a bunch of scraps. So biggest scraps first. I have this one from Dear Lizzie's Fifth and Frolic, and I was cutting out some of these frames and using them in my pages. The other side is this diagonal tone-on-tone stripe. And then I have this one, white with black polka dots, lovely pink branding strip there, and the pink glasses. So this is Amy Tangerine's Better Together. And I have used, I think I actually have used this side. I put it in the kit for this. I'm not sure if I used any of them. Okay, what else do I have here? I still have quite a few of this butterfly garland. I have a large piece of hot air balloons, and then it's got this lovely watercolored sunset-y kind of look on the back. I think this was a Paige Evans paper. Nope, this is Dear Lizzie. I have a ton of branding strips. Just lay them out here. I have used some branding strips, but clearly I have not used enough. And I have been keeping them all. Some of them, like that one, I probably won't actually use, and it'll probably end up just going in the recycling. If that makes people cringe, I'm very sorry. But if it's something that I know that I'm not going to use, I really don't feel bad about putting it in the recycling. And then I have strips like this that I have hung on to, but to be quite honest, I will probably just end up throwing these in the recycling. They're a bit too narrow for what I would normally do. I have one 4x6 card with a butterfly on one side, and then it's got black and white polka dot. I've got other 3x4 cards that I had put into the kit as 3x4 cards. So there's this one that says life is beautiful on one side, and then that one just says a little like us there. It says you are my sunshine in both portrait and landscape. Some labels, same thing. I think these I got in a kit. That was a printable, I believe. These are pink paisley. And then this one, coffee, because crack is bad for you. Again, both portrait and landscape versions of it. This one, nope, not today, not ever, forget it. Not appropriate for my daughter's grade 7 grad, but you know. Another one. This one I probably just put in because I could use it as journaling and just cover that little bit of the skull and crossbones. The bad news, even worse news. Today, well, today sucked. And then, oh, the things you say. And then that one is just a star, and it's got that feather on the back. And then I've got 2 of the cut aparts from the other sheet of Amy Tangerine's cut apart paper, and I've got more in here too. I still got those. The back side again is that green polka dot. Other big strips. I've got a big strip of this with turquoise, which is a nice wood grain wood branding strip, and then more circles on that side. So that's Dear Lizzie from Documentary. I've got this one, which isn't a Chamel paper. This is from Little by Little. I've got a 6x6 paper that I cut out that globe from a few layouts ago, and then just scraps of things. Like literally scraps. A few little butterflies, bits of branding strip. So that's what is remaining in my kit. So nothing earth-shattering, really. Just a lot of pieces. And then my big bag of embellishments, and I'm not going to go through all this. I have added to this. As I have pulled things for layouts, I've just stuck them in the bag so that I can work them into future layouts for this album. So that's what I have. And so I guess my conundrum is, do I keep using this even though I'm slightly tired of the supplies? I don't necessarily have a full sheet of 12 by 12 that could work for this album. I mean, obviously I have 2 sheets of 12 by 12, but neither of them I really want to use as backgrounds for this particular album. Or do I just, you know, move on and start the next phase of the class? So before I do that, I want to take a look at the layouts that I have and the story that is mostly together, and see where the gaps are, and see if there's any stories that I still want to include. So I have stuck them in this. This is a post-bound album. I've stuck them in here temporarily just so I could have them all gathered in one spot. And there are a couple of layouts that are not in this. Hang on. Okay, so these 2 layouts, and I've just totally ripped something off here and I don't know where it went. Stick it there for now. These 2 layouts I didn't put in to her album. I didn't feel like they were necessarily part of her story. I might reconsider this one, but you know, I kind of feel like this is better in the family album because it's really mostly about my younger 2 being a bit goofy. And then this one is just kind of my Valentine, I suppose, to my girls. It's I don't really talk about her grad or anything like that. It's really just, I love these pictures of the 3 of them. So those I made from this is definitely from this kit, and this one was from an older kit. But they all kind of work together. Okay, so you haven't seen this one yet. I think this is going to be the sort of opening page. This is her arriving that morning. And then greeting her friend. And then these ones they're all out of order. You know, she's getting her award. She's doing her valedictory speech. This is an older layout that I made prior to this class that is going to go in this album. And then a family portrait. I feel like there should be a family portrait in this album, even though it's not necessarily part of her story. I could rework this and talk about, because I do have a picture of us with my husband's parents, and I could put that one in, and that could be more about like who came to her grad. I'll have to rethink that. Her with her friends, her and her dad, leaving the assembly, double page about her teachers, more friends, the choir, an old teacher who came back just to watch them graduate, and then this one that I did just yesterday, her and her closest friend. So after the assembly, we did go out for lunch, and I don't seem to have any photos from that, so I might have to hunt those down, and that can be like my final layout for this. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. I'm going to do some thinking and some planning and take a look at what I've written and see if there's any gaps, and then I will come back and we can work on another layout. So I have done my walk through the album. I have moved pages around. I have tried to think of the day and what happened and what stories I want to tell. And it looks like I'm not quite as finished with this album as I thought I was. So I'll just take you through the album again now that I've rearranged things. I've decided I'm going to make a title page. I have this one photo of the choir that sang. And I guess the story here is that this is the first time the choir has sung at her elementary school, and she hasn't been in it. Instead, her younger sister, who was in grade 5 at this point, has now been bumped up to the senior choir. So it's kind of the passing of the torch sort of a thing. So I'm going to create a title page, and I think I will use the balloons as a design for that page. Next, we've got the two sort of arrival pages. The styles are quite different, but I like having the two similar stories next to each other. Some of these are not in their page protectors. This album, it's just hard to get them in and out, so I didn't put all of them in. And then I want to have a layout showing the whole class. Now I have a photo because I had each row stand up so you could take a picture of the row that your child was in. So that's what I have, and then I have a close-up of my daughter. I'm going to see if my husband took one on his phone his phone of the whole class, because I didn't get one on my camera. And then we get into the awards. So the first kind of significant award was a choir. So I have that layout, and then we have the ones where Marley is receiving her Academic Achievement Award, and then she's valedictorian. And these layouts are quite different in style. And then this I obviously need to have like a 6x12 pocket in here somehow, in which case it would kind of go like that, and then I would need to have something else there. So I will try and figure that out. I do have a lot more pictures of her accepting the awards from the teachers and their sort of reaction, so I could think about putting those in there too. We'll see. And then I have the sort of, I call it the recessional, like it's a wedding. Leaving the gym, passing the torch to the kindergartner, that's part of the traditions at their school. And then this sort of fun, happy friends picture, this is kind of the gang. Next, we're going to have some family pictures. So there's one of my husband and her. So the story there is that my husband also got the same award when he was in grade 7. And then I'm going to have one of all of us together with grandparents. And then we got some more friends pictures, so the sort of girls and then her bestie. And then I've got the double page spread of the teachers. And then the one with the special teacher. And I have some more photos, some of them are blurry, of the kids' reactions seeing Mrs. Baker there. I might do another layout with that, or I might add some more family pictures. I want to see if I have a photo from the lunch that we did. I think again that might be on my husband's phone. And then I have more family pictures and more of, I have one of the two of us with Marley that I haven't scrapbooked yet, so that might be good. And I have more of the girls. So I have the option here of adding in these two layouts, which I had removed and I was going to put into the family album. But I could put these ones back in here now. This one might be kind of fun to end the album with after all. So we'll see. I have them sort of on deck, if you will. Okay, so that's where we're at. So clearly I have some more scrapping to do. So I will get to it.